We're going to do these logarithms, but we're going to solve for x. So the first one we have x equals log base 2 of 1/4. We want to rewrite it using exponents. So we would have 2 to the x equals 1/4. Now we want the bases to be the same. I know that if I take 1 over 2 squared, that's 4. Well, we still have a little problem here, right? Because we have bases of 2, but this 2 is in the denominator. We need it in the numerator. So hopefully you remember that if I have 2 to the negative 2, the negative doesn't mean it's a positive or negative. It just means the reciprocal. So now I have the same base. I can say x equals negative 2. Let's look at the next one. We have x equals log base 25 of 5. And we're going to rewrite it again. We'll have 25 to the x equals 5. Well, we need the same base. One thing I know is that if I have 5 squared, that will be the same base. Now remember, this is a 1, so I'm going to have 5 to the 2x equals 5 to the first. They're the same bases now. So all I have to do is say 2x equals 1. I divide it by 2. Turns out that our x is 1/2. Let's look at x equals log base 64 of 4. Once again, we're going to change it. We're going to say 64 to the x equals 4. Now this one was a little bit tough for me. I actually started out by saying 8 squared is 64. And I know that 2 squared is 4. Then I thought to myself, well, I know that 2 to the third power is 8. I still have to square it, and I still have to take it to my x. That equals 2 to the second. Now, some of you probably looked at 64 and told yourself right away that 2 to the sixth power is 64. Well, I didn't see it right away, and I'm guessing there's a lot of students that don't see it right away. So we just keep going until we have the same base. Now, what is this going to look like? It's going to look like 2 to the, now we multiply when we have an exponent to an exponent to an exponent. So 3 times 2 is 6 times x is 6x equals 2 to the second. Now I'm just going to bring it right up here. Now we have the same base. We'll write 6x equals 2, divide by 6, and that gives us x equals 1/3. Let's look at our last one. X equals the log base 4 of 32. Let's rewrite it. 4 to the x equals 32. Well, once again, I have the 4, so I'm just going to write 2 to the second, and that's 4. Now let's see, 32. Well, some of you see it right away, some of us don't. So I'm going to show you how my brain breaks it down. We have 32. Well, 32 is the same thing as saying 8 times 4. Well, 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. And then we have 4 times 2 is 8. This is the same thing as 2 squared. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5. So it turns out that 32 is 2 to the fifth power. Now I have 2 to the 2x equals 2 to the fifth. My bases are the same. 2x equals 5. I divide by 2. And so x equals 5/2. All right, good job.